What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Five Real Sports Postgame Show. I'm your host, Royal Shepherd, or 15 and Oladipo, as my name suggests. I'm joined today by my guys, Ricky J. Mark and Jonathan Rumlicon. How you guys
Much
Doing
better now
pretty
that we
good.
won.
today?
No, it's a good day. Admittedly, it's a bittersweet day because I am a Knicks fan too. But I'm glad to see Miami win this. Really,
Yep,
this was necessary.
by humbug. So we know, we have
Hmm.
bigger sporting events going on today, so we're not gonna keep it long today. We're just gonna keep it brief. So this was a good solid win for Miami, and I know I've been one of the primary trumpeters on the "we need to play better" bandwagon, but this is one of the games that we actually got pretty good play from everybody, and it's the second two-game winning streak of the season. Hopefully, this is the start of things to come. But Ramlakan, we're gonna start with you, man. What did you see from the game today?
It was a grinded out game, just through and through. You know what I mean? We were still giving up too many 3 pointers. But I like what I saw as a team effort. I felt like we had a much better offensive flow. I liked how we used Kendrick Nunn in the first half, and I liked how Jimmy was attacking. You know what I mean? Even though didn't have a great night from the field, he had almost a triple double. He had a really impactful fourth quarter, getting to the line, drawing a lot of fouls, getting us in the bonus early. And Bam was kind of just filling in the holes. Obviously, you want a little bit more from Bam. That's kind of a common theme nowadays, but it was a good win. You know, Tyler Hero came up in the clutch. He played well as well. I liked him in that six-man role.
Hmm.
Um, Other than Julius Randle and Reggie Bullock, who looked like prime Malik Monk, I mean, it wasn't a too bad game overall.
Yeah, so I agree with you. I think once there, as our man Marco Romo joins us, I don't know what he's doing in the background, but
The bug on my
I
bug on my
want to
door.
break free. Like,
so yeah, I think it was important that you mentioned the effort because that was one of the things that I noticed, and it's primarily due to Jimmy being back. But once the effort returned to this team, then you begin to see some semblance of the team that they could be, and some people have been saying that from the beginning, but even after Jimmy initially came back, we still weren't seeing it. And I think it's funny how you say we still all want to see more from Bam, which is true. And he had 24 and 11. so,
mhm. No,
uh,
it's true.
Ricky, I'm gonna toss this to you. Ricky, what did you see from the game today?
I was happy. I really was happy to see Miami really bring it today. This was a balanced Miami Heat type of effort. You had six players get into double figures. You had Bam lead the team in scoring with 24, 11, and 5. I mean, that's a Bam game. That's a Bam game. That honestly should be his average for the season. 24 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. Not only that, but Miami won 2 out of the 3 quarters. Let me see. Actually, no, they won 3 out of the 4 quarters. They only lost the second quarter, and that was only by 1 point. All in all, this was a game that Miami needed to earn, and they went out and earned it because, as we know, Coach Thibodeau teams are not teams that'll just lay down and let you beat them. You have to go out and earn it from them, and they
That's
did.
very true.
And we have every reason. If you're a Heat fan right now, you have every reason to feel proud tonight of your team going
Absolutely.
into the next one.
Yeah, I think you make a good point. Like some people may say, "Oh, it's just the Knicks," but Ricky, I will give you your props. You have been one of the primary people on this network saying that the Knicks are a good team, and it wasn't a bad game by the Knicks. The Knicks played really well, uh, but we were just better tonight, and that
Yeah.
this afternoon, and so that's kind of like what I want to hop on. Marco, I wanted to get your thoughts on the game before we go into specific topics.
I thought I was really impressed with how they adjusted in that second half. They stopped giving up as many open corner threes, which was killing them in the first half. They adjusted well. That's a thing that's been like hindering the team pretty much. It was in-game adjustments. They haven't been able to do that. That was a good sign for them. And also, I love seeing Bam just dominate. Not dominate Brooklyn, dominate, but just be Bam. Uh, and Jimmy, it was rough seeing Jimmy for most of the game. The jump passes are murdering me, I swear. But I loved how he impacts the games in so many ways. You're like, you don't even notice it. And at the end of the box score, oh, he has a 20-point triple double almost.
Yeah,
And it was
three for
good to
11 from the field.
yeah, he just impacts the game in like so many ways. You like seeing the way they adjusted. That's pretty much my biggest thing that I've been concerned with them all throughout the year was in-game adjustments, and I was just happy to see that.
Yeah. So I Jimmy is an interesting case because I feel like we got all of that out of our system last year with the how he scores or the way he plays the game. It's like we don't win this game without Jimmy Butler today, even for as terribly as it looks like he played. Like,
Mhm.
and we have evidence of that based on all the rest of the games. Jonathan, I'm gonna throw this to you. One of the players who we've been harping on a lot for his recent slump, but he kind of came out of the day was Duncan Robinson. He shot 4 of 10 from the field, but even still, he made 4 threes, and I think he got the attempts up that we're looking for him to get up. So, talk some about what you saw from Jonathan, not Jonathan, but Duncan today.
Yeah, I liked what we saw from Duncan today. You know, I've always said that the more threes, I mean, a lot of people have said that the more threes that he gets, the better that this offense is flowing. And it's true. And as long as he's getting more shots, it just showed that it opened up for everybody else. Kendrick Nunn had a good game. Tyler Hero had a good game off the bench. Obviously, these weren't guys that were all playing with him at the same time, but shots were opened up because of him. So I think it's really important that he gets his shots up. He's starting to make a little more impact as far as if he doesn't have the shot right away, maybe he could take a dribble or two and get a pass inside. You know, he's still raw in the passing game, but he's starting to learn how to make good passes in the game. But yeah, this is the game you want to see from Duncan. It's not the most scoring game. 12 points isn't the biggest game that it won't pop off the page for you. But him getting up 10 shots and 6 rebounds, that's something that's good for the team because it'll just help the offensive flow better moving forward.
So
Yeah.
he brought up Jonathan brought up Kendrick Nunn, and Ricky, I'm gonna go to you with this.
Mhm.
Kendrick Nunn, at this point, he's strung together some very solid games, and
Yeah, sure.
it's been more than enough. And this was another one. My question for you is: we've seen Tyler Hero become more comfortable when we moved him to the bench, and it
Mhm.
looks like Kendrick Nunn is more comfortable with that starting unit. From what you've seen in these past couple of games, do you believe that Kendrick Nunn may be the best option to start so that we can allow Dragic to go back to the bench where we can reserve him a little bit more?
You know something? Look, I think what we've seen today is that it's not who starts, but who finishes. Tyler Hero came off the bench today, played very well, but he was the one hitting that big dagger three late in the fourth quarter. This could be an option for Spo moving forward. I think that if we can continue to string together wins like this, then yeah, I could see why Hero would be moved to the bench. But here's the thing: Tyler Hero still played 32 minutes tonight. That's starters minutes. And even though he didn't start, he finished. Kendrick Nunn, if it's easier for Kendrick Nunn's rhythm, if it's easier for Kendrick Nunn's rhythm to start him and it doesn't hurt the team but helps it, then I think Spo will understand that. He'll read the tea leaves and he'll go from there. For example, if I were to go back to the 90s Bulls, for example, you have guys like Ron Harper and Luke Longley. More often than not, Luke Longley wasn't finishing those games for them. It would usually be Dennis Rodman and Tony Kukoc up front. But they would start with him, and they would give him the same treatment that the OKC Thunder would give to Kendrick Perkins and people like that. So ultimately, look, I hope this team isn't too bent out of shape over who starts exactly, but as long as the right group of guys is on the floor in crunch time, like we saw tonight, then we'll be all right. And one last thing, and then I noticed that it not only did 6 players go into double figures, all 6 of those players got 4 rebounds or more. That tells me that we really crashed the boards tonight. You know, you had Butler with 8 rebounds, Bam with 9, Duncan Robinson, who shot 4 of 10 from 3, which is good. If you're 40% from 3, that's great. 40% everywhere else, not so good. But he did his job. He had 6 rebounds. Kelly O, we'll talk about him later, I guess. 4
Yeah,
rebounds. Kendrick Nunn even 4 rebounds.
he's actually
Tyler
next on
Hero
my
5
list.
rebounds.
Yeah, he's actually next to my list,
Yeah,
but you're making a very good
this
point about the
is
rebound. This team is
yeah.
better when we rebound as a unit as opposed to leaving everything
Mhm.
to Bam. And I think you're right about your point, where it doesn't really matter who starts; it matters who's finishes. But Kendrick Nunn has been giving us this production off the bench and in when he's been slotted in as a starter. And I think what I'm getting at is that I want to know if his production is more sustainable with the starting unit. But I'm gonna throw
I think
somebody.
so. I
Yeah,
think
okay,
so because
Yeah.
he plays better with like good players. He's not a type of guy where you can put him out there with any kind of lineup. He excels with guys that know what they're doing. Which is why it was harder for him coming off the bench with guys. He's looked as the guy that he's supposed to be the creator on some of those units. When you put him with guys that are allowing him to not do as much, pretty much, that makes him not think so hard. You know, it allows him to play more freely. So I think it's more sustainable if you keep him with the starting unit. I don't think it depends on who is coming off the bench with him, but I think it's more sustainable with the starting unit.
Okay, so Marco, I'm gonna come back to you on the next player who we were just talking about, Kelly Olynyk. I don't know why it looked like Kelly Olynyk had a terrible game to me. Like he just aesthetically, it's not pleasing to watch him play basketball. But he was effective in the game. So tell me, like, how is that possible? Like, how is it he looks so terrible, but he's having a relatively good game?
I think it's because how loud his misses are, how wide open his misses are. It's like that sticks in your brain more than like a simple rotation. Because he's a smart defensive player. He's not the best, but he's always in the right spots, which is all you're looking for. He's a placeholder, so I think we as fans pretty much take those shots that he's missing because they're so wide open, and especially that one that was late in the fourth quarter that could have had the lead at like 7, I think. And you're like, oh, that would have been the turning point. If they lose this game, you're going to look back at that. Those kind of things stick in your brain more than like a good cut or a good rotation or any of that.
Yeah, he had a good Kelly game. If you look at the stats, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a little bit of everything.
That's what I'm saying.
Fouls.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like
Like,
he did a whole lot of things that weren't like they didn't look good, but he was being effective. So I don't know.
He dunked on Mitchell Robinson.
Maybe it's just my KO bias that's coming through, bro. But excuse me.
Yeah, he's just a goofy player.
I want to talk to another player who's quietly been stringing together some pretty good games. Ramakan. Let's talk about Iggy. Like, for some reason, this man's game never like pops out, but he's always everywhere when he's on the court. It seems like it's always 2 of him on the court. What are you seeing from Iggy? And can we should we rely on him more at this point?
Well, first of all, I'll answer the second one first. Should we rely on him more? No. we don't want to give this guy more minutes. I mean, he's 36, 38, something like that.
Yeah, he's 37. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. So we don't want to be giving this dude 30 minutes a game. I liked how we use him this game. You know, like you said, his stat line doesn't pop out at you on the stat sheet. 4 points, 2 steals, 2 rebounds. You know what I mean? A very quiet game overall, but when you watch the game, you'll see the impact he made. He played as kind of like our de facto point guard. Whenever Jimmy went to the bench, instead of having Tyler run the point, they would have Iguodala run the point, Tyler run off the ball. And Iguodala is smart enough to make the plays, the right plays anyway. So that was the first thing I saw out of him, is just how good of the plays that he was making as kind of like our point guard off the bench instead of using Hero as that point guard. And as well as defensively, he's just everywhere. He's telling everybody where to go. He's communicating right. We're doing, a 2-3 zone or multiple different types of zones. We were doing a lot of double teaming, and he was just making an impact and making himself felt in the game. And I think this is exactly what we wanted from him. You know what I mean? He's our Swiss Army knife. We can bring him off the bench. He's kind of like a little more of an effective Shane Battier, maybe not as much as the threes, but just so intellectual, where he'll come in and he'll just calm everything down and help this team just be so much better and more settled. So I think that's what we get from Iguodala coming in the game. And when Jimmy goes out, Iggy needs to be in there because he's going to be the guy that brings the calm to the team right now.
So I'm glad you brought that up, Ricky. I'm gonna throw this to you because he's alluded to the rotations, which plenty of people have harped on Spo about. I feel like today was one of the better coached games by Spo, particularly in the fourth quarter, where the way he staggered Bam and Jimmy's minutes, so that we were never on the court without one or both of them on the floor at a time. So could you talk some about what you liked about the way Spo managed the game today?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is important to properly stagger your players. You always want to have a veteran along with a young rook that's kind of, all over the place sometimes. If I'm not mistaken, I don't believe Precious was out on the floor at any point when there wasn't either Iggy or another vet out there. And that sort of thing is important because as good as Precious can be and and based on what he's showing us right now, having that vet out there calms him down and settles him some. So that way he's able to play within himself, focus on the game, and he doesn't have to necessarily do anything that is outside of what he's capable of doing at this moment. So, we always talk about how, Spo this, Spo that. This was a very well rotationed, I guess. This was a very well rotation game for Spo because here's the thing. It helps that he is able to properly scout this Knicks team, 1, and 2, there's history between Spo and Tips. They've been going to war against each other for years now. right? Almost 10 years. And he knows the kind of players that Tibbs is going to put out there. Now, granted, I'm sure we're probably going to end up talking about we're probably going to end up talking a little bit more about, the constant allowing of threes and everything.
That's next.
It just seems to be that way. But the thing
I got
is,
notes today, bro.
oh yeah. But the thing is, one thing I was glad to see was that there was a sense of positional balance out there on the floor. I'm a big proponent of balance in terms of roles and things like that. If guys are able to simply focus on what they're good at out there, then that helps in the long run, as we've seen, not just in the box score, but in the fact that we actually won the game today.
Yeah, so somebody asked, why is my name 15 in Oladipo? Because I said that we were going on a win streak on the last stream, and so far I'm looking like Nostradamus.
Stick Mac.
You know it. I'm going to my guy Marco with this. So we stayed 16 minutes on the good. Let's talk about some of the bad, which is what Ricky was alluding to, and that's the barrage of three-pointers that this team continues to give up. The Knicks are one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the league, and they shot nearly 41% today, if I'm not mistaken. It was like
40 threes in one half.
Yeah, 38%. And their first half they had as much threes in their first half as they do usually in a regular game completely. So.
Exactly.
Well, I think Bullock hit 7 today, right?
Right. Yeah, so he matched his career high. So aside from making, so talk something about what is it about our defense that continues to allow this to happen?
Well, it's what the defense is designed to do. They're designed to limit the paint shots pretty much. That's what teams like the Bucks, they do the same thing. And you're pretty much daring the other team to shoot to win the game. It's gone better for the Bucks than it has for Miami. For very varying reasons. Miami is also not as good at protecting the paint. They don't allow as many shots in the paint, but when they do, the teams are more often than not making a shot. Whereas Milwaukee, they have guys like Brook Lopez and Giannis out there who limit those makes inside. So it looks even worse because you add that on top of the threes. So the defense isn't going to be any better along with giving up the open threes. It's also been some bad luck. The quality of shots they've been giving up have been pretty much the same as last year. It's just the teams are making them more. And I don't know if that's a product of no fans or teams are being more prepared for that type of defense and teams are getting better at shooting. Teams are more prepared to take those shots. But you also want to adjust to that. And today it was even more profound because of the corner threes. They were trapping a lot more. So when you trap more, you're going to give up those open corner threes a lot. They adjusted to that a little bit, but they're still going to give those shots up. They still have to cut that down.
I think what sounded the alarm for me was when Taj Gibson hit a fucking three in the corner. I was like, I didn't even know he could shoot threes, bro.
Never seen him shoot more than a mid-ranger.
No, I did. But let's go over to the Knicks because people want to harp on the fact that it's the Knicks, but they have one of the better players in the league. I wasn't very high on Julius Randle when he first came out of college, but that man is damn near unguardable. So Ricky, what did you see from Julius tonight? This is your secondary team, I guess, or your primary team. I'm not sure where your allegiances lie anymore. But
hey, I'm on a Heat post game show right now. I'm just saying that right now.
Maybe because the Knicks didn't want you.
Well, no.
It feels like Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Hey, we moved down here. It was cold.
That's true. So talk something about what you saw from Julius Randle tonight.
Okay, so here's the thing. Julius Randle, I believe, is an all-star this season. He has definitely earned that as far as I'm concerned. He is a kind of player that, I get a lot of Bam vibes from him. If we could put up that stat where one of the previous stats that showed the team leaders of each stat, if you looked at that stat there, you'll see Randle, I think, led the team in, if I'm not mistaken, points and rebounds or something like that. One thing that really stood out to me is that Bam actually canceled out the best of whatever New York was able to.
Yeah, Ricky, who is we? We the Knicks? That's who you see? Bro, I knew it, bro. Ricky's
this is what it is.
Ricky's a spy, but continue.
So be it. Yeah, so be it. Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, that's where I was. Okay, so yeah, the thing is, look, Julius Randle, without question, is a very versatile player. In many ways, he's kind of like a second point guard for that team. He has had this ability from the very beginning. He really has. Now he's truly being able to showcase it in a more stable situation where he doesn't have to worry about getting traded or anything like that. He's going to be a significant factor in whether or not the Knicks somehow sneak into the playoffs this year. Do I think they'll make it? Probably not, but it wouldn't completely shock me because this team works hard. They're built around a hard-nosed defensive coach. They're not going away anytime soon. But ultimately, right now, it's what matters the most today is that despite everything that the Knicks threw at Miami today, rugged defense, all that other stuff, Miami was able to pull off the win, and they were able to do it. They were able to do so in a way that was convincing. It's like one of those games where the Knicks they're threatening, and then the Heat hit them with that stay down type shot.
I think before I get there, I want to see them do it again in the next game.
Of course, yes.
So I want to see
before
I'm waiting. But somebody in the comments, Caleb said Randall is irrationally confident. Bam. I like that. SRT Dre, thank you for the super chat donation. He said Iggy, Furkan, Korkmaz, Denny, I don't know how to say that man's name, and Eric Gordon.
Abdiya.
Yeah, I don't know why you're naming those people. Ricky Thibodeau.
Hey,
I like that. But
he's a spy for James Dolan.
Yeah, so
I need him to sell the team, to be honest.
So we're talking about some of the negatives of the team, Ramlakan, and I know this is probably I know Bam had a good game, but somebody in the comments earlier said it was the quietest 24 points that they had ever seen. Like Bam again. It's like, how does he score 24 points and 11 rebounds, and we're still asking for him to be more aggressive?
Because he's not being more aggressive. You know what I mean? Like, he's getting shots that, he's getting shots set up for him, really. You know what I mean? He's not being the most aggressive player. We want to see him take those jump shots. There's one possession specifically in the fourth quarter where I remember he had Mitchell Robinson on him, and he hit him with a dribble move, and Mitchell Robinson went the completely other way. And instead of Bam going to the rim and getting either a contact or finishing like the athletic player he is, dribble handoff. He beat Mitchell Robinson.
I knew it. I don't even know what you're talking about. I just knew.
Went to a dribble handoff. It's like you want to see more out of your. If Kevin Durant beats you off the dribble, he's not going to go and he's going to hand it off. If LeBron beats you off the dribble, he's not going to go. He's not going to hand it off. We want Bam to be more aggressive. Of course, we want him to play on the offense and stuff like that, but we want to see him take those jump shots. Julius Randle's a tough defensive matchup. He's a smaller big man that has the speed that he does. But when he's getting matched up with Taj Gibson and Mitchell Robinson, two guys that are definitely much slower than him, he needs to be cooking these guys. And he hit a shot at the buzzer. I'm not sure if it was at the second or the fourth quarter or the third quarter, but the shot clock was running down. He hit a turnaround fadeaway on Mitchell Robinson. And it was like, that's why Bam needs to shoot more.
Ramlakan, let me just jump in real quick. I just want to report we got some breaking news. The Detroit Pistons have agreed to trade guard Derrick Rose to the Knicks for Dennis Smith Jr. and a 2021 second round pick. It's Knicks news, but yeah.
I think that happened right before the game. I was going to get there, Ricky, but we need to keep Ricky out.
I think they wanted to wait until the game was over.
They wanted to wait until the game was over.
Notifications went off. His Knicks notifications went off.
Yeah, he has Bleacher Report favored it for the fucking Knicks. Before I let you continue, Ramlakan, I want to thank SRT Dre again for the $1.99 donation. He says y'all look like them. I don't know who he's talking about. That was so long ago. And then I want to thank my man Ariel Atias for the $5 donation. He said Duncan faking to take the handoff and then setting a screen for Bam so Bam can attack is a nice addition to the offense. I think he's talking about Bam doing the damn Kelly Keeper. Like, if Bam did that shit, he would average 30 points a game.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. So, Marco, why are we still talking about Bam's aggression, even though he's putting up numbers like he is?
Because you saw him put up even better numbers. you kind of want that every night, which is unrealistic for us fans in some sense. But you've gotten a glimpse of like what this dude can be, so you're gonna want that every game. I do like that point that fan made. I think they were talking about this play where Duncan is coming up for a dribble handoff, but he stops. He sets a screen for Bam. Bam comes off the screen, so he's getting pretty much an open lane to the basket. Something that Philadelphia actually ran with J.J. Redick and Joel Embiid, which is I want to see more of that. Use Duncan's leverage for Bam. Make him like Bam's gonna get easy buckets all the time. And you want that. You want this is your superstar. You want your superstar to be superstar every game. I don't blame the fans for wanting that. I'm guilty of that myself. I want him to be more aggressive. I was mad at him for not going at Alex Lynn the other game. who had 20 points and 5 blocks in 19 minutes. I was so mad. That's what I want from Bam. You want Bam to be more aggressive every game. I don't blame the fans for that at all.
Okay, so I also want to thank Noble Demon Tim for the $5 donation. Kristaps Porzingis is an unrestricted free agent in 2023 and 24. How would he fit in Miami starter or bench given his history of injury? I think Kristaps Porzingis is a talent that we would take happily, and he would definitely be a starter. Excuse me.
It's red.
What's red?
No, I saw it
Is
coming.
Mike?
Hey.
It looks orange.
Hey, I'm just teasing like LeBron did before 2010. All right, you know where he went.
So Ricky,
Yes, sir.
I'm coming to you on the Bam topic again.
All right.
You're always the one that seems to be on the. It's not necessarily the opposite end, but you're more
He's
middle.
satisfied. He's always satisfied.
You always seem satisfied with what we're getting. Are we asking too much to say that for Bam to be more aggressive? Are we asking too much for that?
No, not at all, because we know what Bam is capable of, and I think he does too. And if he gets a quiet 24 and 11 in a game where he should probably have gotten 36 and 17, then that's because we think he's that good, and that's because he is that good. Come 2 years from now, hopefully even sooner than that, he'll be getting those numbers against teams that have no business guarding him. Look, Mitchell Robinson is a solid player. Julius Randle is a solid player. As good as Bam is, even though those guys play decent defense, yeah, we expect him to get more. It's like how Miami had all those expectations for LeBron in crunch time, like that first season. We always knew he could do more. And then what did he go ahead and do from 2012 onwards? Now, if it's a late game and LeBron's got it, it's as if it's a sure thing, just like LeBron again in the playoffs against the Raptors. Like, you just know something's going to happen and he's going to come through. Same with Bam. We have those expectations because we care. We know what he's capable of, and hopefully, he'll get to that level. But honestly, as long as the points are impactful and you can feel them, then all right. It's all good.
I think we got a mixed bag in the comments. Some people say, yes, we are being too harsh. Other people said, no, we're not. Like they said, we should expect more. But I want to get back to the game a little bit because Clutch Adam actually texted me during the game. And he was saying that this is a really good win for this team, primarily because even healthy, this isn't the type of road win that Miami gets last year. Like we all remember the glitz and glamour of the bubble, but we weren't a particularly strong road team, and especially in close games on the road, like we didn't pull out many of them. So is that something that you've noticed, or is that something that you think is like far-fetched? It's not like a real thing.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure that that's completely true. I remember seeing road wins like this last season. I do.
I think we started off 9-0 in those games.
Yeah,
they were a bad road team last year. I remember
horrible road team.
Yeah, maybe record. But I'm just going by what I remember seeing. I remember seeing them win games like this. Now, did they win all of them? Of course not. But
but I'm saying, but I think the point was that we were a pretty bad road team last year, and this game was this was a really solid road win for us. But Marco, I'm gonna throw it to you. I'm gonna let you finish the point that you were about to make.
No, since I remember there was this game in Indiana where Miami had won like by 30. That was the TJ Warren game, I remember. And Bam was like, we were tired of hearing Spo talking about how we're a bad road team. And after that, they didn't do any better. I think they only won like 5 more road games until the stoppage. It was bad. But I think I know what Adam's trying to say, that they closed it out, because that's what they've been having trouble with, closing out games. Last year, I think what Ricky's remembering is that they were like 9-0 in overtime games, which was like a big anomaly. Pretty much a lot of those.
That too.
Yeah. So that was really good talk. Look, guys, like I said, there's a bigger sporting event going on today, so I'm not going to ramble, and go on too much today. I think today was a great win for the team. Great morale boost. So before we close, can they do it again? Ricky, will we beat the Knicks when we see them?
I don't know if we will, but we can. There's no reason to believe why this team can't win most of these games. The problem has been we haven't enough. Can we? Yes. Will we? We'll have to tune in.
You said we was going to win 2 or 3 on this road trip, and so far we're 2-0, Ricky. I just want to point that out. So we can
we'll
only
have
go
to
up
see.
from your prediction. Ram Lakai, are we going to win the next game against the Knicks?
Yeah, I think we might win it a little more handily. You know what I mean? I think that if we limit Reggie Bullock and going off of 3-point land, we got a better chance of winning that game. So I mean, who knows? It might be Alec Burks next game. It might be somebody else going off on us. But I
Derrick
feel like if
Rose.
we can just limit, it might be Derrick Rose. Yeah, they just got him. So I mean, he might come and just drop 40 just because he's reuniting with Thibs. That's hard to say. But yeah. I think we can get a win on Friday. I think we pull it out handily, and I think we'll enjoy that one. We have a nice little win streak going, probably the biggest of the year.
Yeah, it will be the biggest of the year. We've only won 2 games in a row one other time this season. Marco,
Yeah.
do we pull out that win? Oh, excuse me. Do we pull out that win on Friday?
I think they do. They learn from their mistakes. They limit the threes. They win by 7 somehow. Jimmy has a better game, even though he still had a decent-ish game. I think he cuts down those turnovers. The team is good at adjusting, like game to game. Spo is one of the best series adjusters. So you hope he brings that again, and I think they will. I think they win most. I think they'll win because they'll get to the free throw line. That's the thing.
So I will be transparent about what I said on the other one. If you didn't watch, I said that we would lose this game, and I said we would split this. But since we won, I like the way that we played. I'm back on the optimism train again. Like I think we win the next one as well.
Hope trafficker.
Yeah. Okay, I'll take that one. But yeah, and I think we win
From the
that
Knicks
one.
fan.
Yeah, right. I say we win that one more handily than we won this one. I think we put a more convincing win on the board. So plug time to pay the bills. So this post-game show is brought to you by Biscayne Bay Brewery, Seltzer Mayberg, Best Ever, Prize Picks. Use the promo code 5. Manscaped, use the code the number 5 RSN. Don't forget to watch Fight Night on 5. I don't know the name of these shows, bro. Just being honest, I just be throwing them
Fight
out there.
Week on 5. You can follow. There's a new Twitter. Fight Week on 5.
Yeah, Fight Week on 5. Make sure. Check out we have the football program that we have. They had a Super Bowl special that they
3 yards per carry.
Not 3 yards per carry. The other one.
There's another one.
Yeah, I forgot.
I'll let you know in 2 seconds.
Yeah, thank you. But they had another one. Oh, also Clutch Corner. It's not happening Tuesday. We're not doing it for the post game. We're gonna have the regular post game. The extra yard. Thank you so much. Make sure you check out the guys at the extra yard. Yeah, my guys Juan, my guy Michael, and my guy Kachi and Chisholm. They did a really good show earlier today about the Super Bowl. Clutch Corner will not be on post game on Tuesday. We're gonna keep the regular post game crew, and Clutch Corner will be on Wednesday of next week. So anything that I forgot to plug.
No, but New York now has $15 million in cap space this summer.
Please kick Ricky out of this thing, bro. We don't want to hear any more of this. All right, guys. So thanks to my guy Ricky J. Mark. Thanks to Jonathan Ramlakan, and thanks to Marco Romo for joining me. We'll see you guys next game. Y'all have a good day and enjoy the Super Bowl.
With Chiefs.